Before we get started in the video, I want to show you the online prices for this. I am on Gino's Garage. A few guys on my forum to say that this is where they go to get their filters at. This is a filter I purchased. This is going to be the front mounted filter in the engine bay, and then this is a filter on the chassis pretty much below the bed. As you guys can see, pricing online is a little bit cheaper. I did get this from my local dealer. I did show them these prices. They did come down, but I bought my trucks there. I do all my service at this dealership, so they pretty much gave me a discount, but I did not pay these lower prices. I probably paid 20 bucks more than this. Now, a lot of guys have said that the Fleet Guard filters are cheaper. I'm not seeing that here. This filter is $69.95, and it looks like original price is $64.95 for the MOPAR one. These are pretty much the exact same filters. You guys have seen the video that I do mention on top of the casing for the fuel filters, it does say Fleet Guard on there. So if you do find these filters cheaper, I mean, hey, by all means, get that one or get this one, whatever one works best for you. But be sure to look at the years too if you do go on Gino's Garage, because I look down here, these look the exact same as the ones for our 2019 and up trucks, and these are actually cheaper, so you have to be careful not to pick these because these are totally different filters. So let's go ahead and get into the video, and I'll show you guys how to install these. Welcome back to JB Reviews. Today we are going to do a fuel filter change. I wanted to show you guys how to do this. I pretty much already started, but I'm not too far in. I just wanted to see if I could even do this. So if you're not familiar, I got to get my flashlight, but there is the first fuel filter inside the engine bay. This is the biggest filter. I'll be sure to show you guys all the parts that I use in this, and there's one below the bed of the truck. As far as tools go, you don't need a lot, but you are going to need a movable joint like this for your ratchet, and you're also going to need a 28mm socket too. And this is a 10-inch extension. You're going to need something a little bit bigger. I would go maybe 12, maybe even a little bit bigger than that, honestly, just so you have enough room to play with. And then I'm using 1/2 heads here, but I mean, you can use something a little bit smaller if you want to. I think a 3/8 would be perfect for this job. But apart from that, like I said, let me go ahead and show you guys what we're doing under the hood and under the truck. That way you guys can have an idea how this is going to come together. So the very first thing you're going to have to do, now if you have an Eisen transmission, your dipstick for your transmission is going to be on this side. What you're going to have to do is there's like a yellow piece that you have to turn. I believe you have to turn it counterclockwise to get that drainage for the diesel to come out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in so you guys can see where it's at. So remember that the dipstick for the transmission for the Eisen is right here, and this is what you're going to have to turn in order to get that diesel to start dripping. Let me just show you guys really quickly. I have it pretty much emptying in to this red cup here. It's starting to fall because it's getting heavy, but I have it pretty much wedged up in there. It's dumping all the fuel in, and once this pretty much stops dripping, I'll go ahead and pull out the filter, and then I'll start on the back one. But so far, I mean, this is pretty easy to do. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to get a second cup here to put under this one. I don't have a long enough tubing here, so next time I do this, I'll be sure to do a follow-up to get the right tools. This thing that I'm using here for the drainage, this tubing, is actually off of my winterization kit for my RV. And so it's just long enough so you don't get a lot of mess back here. And as you guys can see, it pretty much came to a nice drip, and we are pretty much done here. So what you guys are going to have to do in order to get this top off is you're going to have to go through this way. This is the only way I can see that I can get in here, because I was coming this way at first. I wish I can show it to you better, but I was coming down this way, and unfortunately I don't have enough room to turn because this extension is way too short. Let me show you guys how I had it to get this top off here. Hold on one second. Alright guys, so if you can see up top, there's a plug. If you go in between that plug, it will literally get you down where you need to be at to get that ratchet on top of there. But you're going to want at least a 12 or even larger extension, that way you have more room to play with. But yeah, I got it off. All I have to do now is just take off the top and put the new filter in, and there's also a washer that you have to put in too, so I'll show that to you in a second. So after you undo the top of the filter in the engine bay, a lot of diesel fuel comes out, guys, so just keep that in mind. I thought it was pretty much done, but you're gonna need a bigger pan. Unfortunately, the coronavirus has everything closed today, so I try to go to the store and pretty much everything's closed at this moment, but this is working fine. I'll just have to put down some stuff on the ground here just so this doesn't catch fire or anything like that. But once you undo the top, a lot of diesel comes out, so just keep that in mind. But this cup is big enough. It's just a little bit of splatter on the ground. You're probably wondering when I was going to show this to you. The reason why I'm doing it this way, showing you the filter later on in the video, is because I want you to see what box it came in and kind of have a visual what the filter should look like. So that's the old filter right there. Now when you open this up, you're gonna have a brand new filter wrapped in plastic, which is perfect, and it's gonna come with a new washer. So you can see, I mean, this is about 9,700 miles. I believe you can go 15K. I'm not going 15K because you can see there's a huge difference in these filters. So be sure that you change this before 15K. I have a really good dealer next to me at Southern States. They have a premium diesel, and I use diesel clean in my truck at least a couple times a month, and as you guys can see, the filter's doing its job, but it's definitely pretty dirty. You can see that technology inside the filter too, so definitely change these out at least every 10,000 miles. That's just my recommendation. If you want to keep this bad boy clean. I mean, a lot of people complain about the CP4 filter on these trucks, so don't take the chance. This is an easy way to keep your truck running nice and clean. And yeah, this is an easy job, guys. I would strongly recommend you do this on your own. Alright guys, there's a small washer around the housing of the fuel filter. So we're gonna pull that off, okay? And we're gonna put the new one on. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it there. So all the old stuff is out. All I need to do now is put the new stuff in. All you have to do is just pop this back inside. You're gonna hear a pop when it's in securely, so just listen for that. And then we'll move over to the back of the truck, all right? And if you're interested, this is how much diesel came out of the front filter. All right, so now that that filter is done, what you're gonna have to do next is this. So go in, you'll see the tire right here. If you have a long bed truck or a crew cab, it might be a little different because I have a MegaCab, but if you go under the truck, now take a look at where the drive shaft is. So I'm going to turn the camera upwards like this, and we're gonna go straight back, and you'll see the other filter right there. All right, so what we have to do is, you'll see right here, we have to turn this, that way we can relieve the pressure and have the diesel come out, and then we'll take off the housing, and I'll show you what we got to do next. Okay. All right guys, so this one, whoa, this one made the biggest mess. So unfortunately I'm out of sunlight, so I have to kind of show this to you like this. But yeah, this filter, guys, completely messy getting it out. So you're gonna need a big oil pan under the truck. Now let me just show it to you here. You see this thing here, this twist, and this will relieve the pressure. I'm assuming that's what that's doing. When you turn this, I think you have to turn it like 3 full times. It will come off, so just keep that in mind. So the filter was in there like this, and this piece you saw. So just undo this piece. You'll start to see the diesel coming out. But a lot came out of this filter. This filter looks pretty dirty too, guys. I'll show you a comparison real quickly. But man, guys, this is a really easy job to do. I would strongly recommend. I don't know how much my dealership would have charged me for this, but it wouldn't have been cheap. So I have to clean up. I got to go to the store and pick up some stuff to put on the ground here. But yeah, guys, this is something that is super simple to do. But as you can see, this filter is definitely dirtier than the one up front, for sure. I'll be sure to save this so you guys can see it tomorrow in the sunlight. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. There is a ring around this one too. I don't want to damage the housing, but you can see the ring. It's right here. You can see it right there. Remember where I have to remember where this goes to, because this one looks like it's in a specific spot. So all you have to do is just pull it off, and then like I said, I'll put the new O-ring on. I'll show you guys a comparison on the filters,
and that'll effectively end the video. All you have to do is just twist it back in there. This one was in there pretty tight, so make sure you put it in there. Don't over tighten it. Just remember the position. So the position that I saw this one in, this piece was visible to me, so I'm gonna pretty much tighten it back to that same spot, unless there's just too much pressure getting put on the filter. But apart from that, guys, like I said, this is an easy job to do. It took me maybe 30 minutes tops. I mean, this is my very first time. I never had a chance to do it on my previous truck because I traded it in, but yeah, this is definitely something you want to do every 10K. This is pretty dirty. I use premium diesel, and I use a diesel, cleaner in my truck too. So like I said, this is definitely, well, it's not a diesel cleaner, but it's just an additional lubricator for the truck. So just really quickly, this is the other filter. I'll be sure to put all this stuff in the description, that way you know what to get. I know Fleet Guard offers the same filters for a cheaper price, and if you look at the housing on the fuel filters, it says Fleet Guard on there. So if those are cheaper than the MOPAR ones, go ahead and get those instead, because like I said, I think they have the same filtration and everything like that. So let me go ahead and take it out of the box so you guys can see it side by side. But yeah, like you guys can see, that filter is dirty. Now keep in mind, this filter is wet still from diesel, but I would strongly recommend every 10K, guys. That is a huge difference. This one does have the washer inside too. I don't know if you can see it there, but yeah, make sure you guys change it every 10K. Strongly recommend that. Once you're done installing your new fuel filters in the truck, you're gonna have to prime and start the engine. So turn the ignition switch to the run position, wait 4 seconds, then turn the ignition switch back to the off position. Repeat the above sequence 4 times. Start engine, and do not engage the starter for more than 15 seconds at a time. Allow 2 minutes between cranking intervals. Check for leaks, and then from there you should be good to go.
One thing I did not show you in this video is resetting the computer for the fuel filters. Is really easy to do. All you have to do is go to the fuel filter life, use the arrows to reset it. Took me like 5 seconds. Very, very easy. But as you guys can see, this is the filters the next day. They're completely dry, and that rear filter on the right is so dirty. I am glad I changed these at 10K. I might even do this maybe at 7,500 next time to see how dirty they are. But I'll be sure to have more tools, and maybe I'll buy a few extra things and make this job a little bit easier. But guys, like I said, this is an easy job to do. If you don't feel comfortable, nothing wrong going to the dealership letting them do it. But if at the very least, learn how to drain these filters, because if you get water inside of them, you're going to have to know how to do this job. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to have additional like tubing to be able to have connected. That way you can drain them into like a bucket or something like that, because if you get water in the fuel, you have to turn the truck off and drain them. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you guys would like for me to do more videos like this, I will do so for you. I try to make this as easy as possible, but I was running out of daylight and I didn't have a lot of tools with me, but pretty much I got it done. And I've driven my truck 1,000 miles since I've done this, because I'm in Indiana, but I'll talk more about that soon. See you in the next video.